The latest Spider Man Venom crossover begins. A Predator enters a Bloodsport like tournament, and Milestone's Static and other characters go to war with the US government. Welcome back to the channel where we talk about only good comics. I'm Brant, and this is Friday First. This is that series where we talk about those brand new #1 issues, new character debuts, new story arcs, and the like. And this is for books that are coming out on February 25th, 2026. We've got a top 8 first this week with a couple of honorable mentions. And before I get into all of that, though, I do want to remind you that my brand new series, Jumping on Point, premiered yesterday morning. So if you haven't had a chance to go check it out, please do so. Let me know what you think. This one was about Iron Man. The next one is going to be about X-23. I enjoyed doing the series, had fun with it. Hopefully, you got a chance to check it out and you enjoyed it as well. I'd love to hear your feedback about that in the comments here or there. So definitely go check that out. But with no further ado, let's jump into this week's honorable mentions. Our first honorable mention this week is Star Trek Deviations Threads of Destiny, issue #1. This is a series that I don't keep up with. I'm not, I don't read the Star Trek comics, but I thought it was important to point out a book that's all about Uhura. And just it says it's a one shot featuring Lieutenant Nyota Uhura in the 23rd century. She's exploring these systems with the crew on the Enterprise, of course. And as part of her mission to communicate and build bridges with life found across the galaxy. But in the 20th century, humankind was working to build understanding among themselves, with African Americans on Earth championing, if I can speak, the civil rights movement and using their voices in acts of protest to end racial segregation and discrimination. And it goes on from there. So obviously, with this being Black History Month and everything, I thought it was important to point this one out, especially for fans of Star Trek. So if you are a Star Trek fan, go check this one out. And the other honorable mention comes to us from Dynamite, which is Disney Villains Ursula, issue 1. And this takes place before Ursula ever comes into contact with Ariel, which I thought was kind of a cool period to tell a story about Ursula. It says she presided over a vast underwater kingdom as one of the 7 sea witches, along with all the other ones. They ruled the oceans with impunity. So when one of her sisters is suddenly found broken and stripped of her powers, Ursula takes it as an attack upon her collective authority and sets out to finish and punish the culprit, knowing that among all the denizens of the deep, only one would dare to challenge the sea witch's reign. So that sounds pretty cool. You've got a bunch of cool covers here. The artist I'm not familiar with is Gabrielle Bagnoli, written by Sherry L. Smith. And I did forget to mention with Star Trek Deviations, the creators was Stephanie Williams is the writer, and Greg Maldonado, yeah, that's right, is the penciler. So I just wanted to make note of that. But that is your other honorable mention. So with that, let's get into our top 8. Coming in at number 8, I believe I've mentioned this on the show before. I guess it got delayed. I don't usually repeat these days, but I will in this case. This is Thundercats Lost in Time, issue #1, also from Dynamite Entertainment. This is kind of the jumping on point, or the catalyst for this new crossover event between the two books, Thundercats Lost in Time and the main Thundercats series, with a mystery variant blind bag. So this is written by Ed Brisson. And it's kind of kicking off this event, this crossover event between the two. It says, ripped from their adopted home of Third Earth, the Thundercats find themselves trapped on the distant future world of Sixth Earth. To prevent this nightmarish future from ever coming into existence, they have to find a path back to their home, and that means infiltrating the government's surveillance grid, shutting it down. But what they discover at the center chills them to their cores. And they learn about this upcoming event that's going to send shockwaves through all their peoples, past, present, and future. And so this is to try to prevent all of that from happening. It sounds pretty cool. I'm behind on my Thundercats reading, so but I'm still excited about it. But that's why this one comes in a little lower. But I still am curious about this event. The artist is Vincenzo Federici, and this is a 40-page book for $5.99. but that's why Thundercats Lost in Time comes in at number 8. Coming in at number 7 is New History of the DC Universe, The Dakota Incident, issue number 1. And this is all about the milestone characters, Static, Rocket, Icon, etc. And I've never read the New History of the DC Universe books before. If you have, let me know if they're any good, because this sounds pretty interesting. It says it's spinning out of the New History of the DC Universe, and it's an untold moment in DC history where a murder leads to an all-out war between the heroes of Dakota City and the U.S. government. It says their homes become battlefields, and Static, Rocket, and others sacrifice to keep their loved ones safe. But as heroes fall in the past, the stage is set for their return to the present. So I don't know if that's leading up to something. This it says it's releases February 25th, but it's got a cover date of April. So I don't know what that means. But anyway, once again, celebrating Black History Month, as it says there on the cover. We've got writers Morgan Hampton, Joseph Illidge, Nicholas Draper, Ivy, Stephanie Williams, once again, with art Edwin Galman, Valentin Delandro, FICO Azio, Steven Segovia, Carlo Pagulan, etc. So, really all-star cast there behind this. And if you're a big fan of the milestone characters, you'll definitely want to check this out. I might pick this one up as well. I'm a Static fan, and this just sounds like an interesting story. So that's why New History of the DC Universe, The Dakota Incident, comes in at number 7. Coming in at number 6 from DC as well, the Vertigo imprint is The Peril of the Brutal Dark, an Ezra Kane mystery. This is set in 1941. It is a hard-boiled crime noir story featuring this private investigator named Ezra Kane, who has a reputation of taking it on the chin if it means solving the case. He used to be an archaeology student, and that kind of makes him the perfect person to track down this artifact that's gone missing from the Museum of Natural History. But there's this ancient evil that ties into the Greek god Hephaestus. So it says if someone can harness that power, they could bend nations to their will. And science fiction quickly becomes Kane's reality when a shadowy sect calling themselves the Brutal Dark appears in the city, wielding resources that defy human logic. Now, Ezra is the only thing that stands between them and their plot to overthrow America. This is written by Chris Condon with art by Jacob Phillips, 40 pages for $3.99, which is not a bad price at all for 40 pages. So yeah, that sounds pretty interesting to me as well. So yeah, that's why The Peril of the Brutal Dark comes in at number 6. Coming in at number 5 is Ted Okay, issue 1 from Mad Cave Studios. This is a 32-page book for $5.99, written and illustrated by Dave Chisholm, and it's about this. I guess they're a couple. It's a Ted and Sarah. Ted's a paranoid, isolated person who works for this mega corporation that's owned by the world's only trillionaire. So he works for this big company by this really rich person. He suffers night terrors, and he obsessively draws these mysterious figures over and over and over again while listening to the same music over again. And he says he's the only person he ever talks to is a stray cat. His humanity is hanging by a thread. Sarah, I guess they're not a couple. So Sarah's a new arrival to the city. She's fighting her own demons, and her job is to spy on Ted remotely to ensure that he doesn't hurt himself or anyone else. So when Ted's mental state begins to crack, she compassionately intervenes to help, but things go catastrophically wrong. So yeah, it says, and this is what kind of hooked me. It says, is Ted okay? It mashes up the paranoid existentialism of Severance, which I'm a big fan of the Severance TV show. That's the Apple TV series. If you have not checked it out, it's really good. With the cosmic sci-fi of Akira, which that's cool as well. I've also seen Akira, of course, while exploring what happens when the act of help goes horribly wrong. So sounds like a pretty cool concept to me. Definitely dealing with, kind of interesting concepts here, and it's going to be interesting to see the interaction of this guy Ted, who doesn't talk to anyone, having to kind of interact with Sarah and how bad that goes. So that sounds cool to me. So that's why Is Ted Okay comes in at number 5. All right, coming in at number 4 is Murder Drones, issue 1 from Oni Press. This is written by Wyatt Kennedy, who does the image series Knights, which I'm a big fan of. And the story, I guess the plot is by Liam Vickers with art by Joe Mi Young or Jung. I apologize if I mispronounced that. But this is based on the Amazon Prime Video global animation phenomenon, which I'm not familiar with actually. This is my first time hearing of this. But the artist did Eve the Dark Crystal, Age of Resistance. So that's if I remember correctly, that was really good art in that. And obviously Wyatt Kinney has done Knights and Marvel voices. So yeah, they said they unleashed the record-setting comics adaptation of the series that you have watched 330 million times, Murder Drone. So if you're a big fan of this series, you might want to check out the comic as well. If that cover is any indication, let's see, is that covered by the no, the cover is by a different artist, but still, that cover art looks pretty sick to me. But anyway, so in the far future, on this desolate exoplanet designated Cooper 9, the humans are long gone, but the robotic worker drones they created to mine the planet's resources are still hard at work. Together, they have managed to forge their own makeshift society, or so they thought, until a previously unknown kind of robot, the dreaded murder drones, are activated by a long-forgotten human-scripted protocol to disassemble any worker that deviates from its original programming. But when a rebellious young worker drone named Uzi forms an unlikely alliance with two disassembly drones, serial designations N and V, of course, Envy, can they together uncover the secrets of their origins and stop the spread of the unsettling mechanical virus known as the Absolute Solver? So, yeah, that sounds pretty fun. I don't know. I've never seen Murder Drones. It sounds pretty cool. You know, I like Wyatt Kennedy's writing, so as soon as I saw this, it piqued my interest. It made me want to check out, look into it. So yeah, I'll probably try to find this if I can, but that's why Murder Drones comes in at number 4. All right, top 3. Coming in at number 3, we've got Predator Bloodshed, issue number 1. This is by Marvel Comics. They've been doing a killer job with the Predator franchise. I'm not a huge Predator fan, but they've made me a fan through the various books that they put out. Now, most of them have been pitting the Marvel Universe versus Predator, where this is different. This Predator has come, I believe, to Earth. Yeah, to Earth. And somehow enters this tournament that is put on by this shadowy organization. So everything goes crazy when this Predator shows up, and everybody is not just fighting to win a tournament, but they're fighting for their lives. And what makes this even more interesting is that it is written by Jordan Morris, who is Cotton Candy Randy from Good Mythical Morning, the YouTube series that is very, very popular. My wife Lisa actually got me into it years ago. So I'm familiar with Cotton Candy Randy, and that's pretty cool. He's also going to be writing the upcoming Web of Venom one shot in April. So yeah, that's pretty cool. Kudos to Jordan for kind of landing these. And the art is by Roland Bashi. This is a 32-page book for $4.99. And yeah, this just sounds fun. This sounds cool. Sounds like it's going to be gruesome, and I'm looking forward to this one. And that's why Predator Bloodshed comes in at number 3. Coming in at number 2 is Punisher, issue number 1. This is written by Benjamin Percy with art by Jose Luis Suarez Pinto. And this is a brand new ongoing series by Benjamin Percy, who has been killing it with these anti-hero characters across the board, whether it's Wolverine, from what I understand, even Ghost Rider, and Punisher, and Red Hulk, just been killing it. Just came out with Wade Wilson Deadpool, which was also pretty solid. So I'm really looking forward to this one as well. It says, as unflinching and uncompromising as ever, Frank Castle's memory is damaged and he's hunting for answers and criminals alike. He'll get more than he bargained for of both when the notorious and bloodthirsty Jigsaw returns with the Punisher dead in his sights. Now, we've seen Punisher recently come back with Punisher Red Band, where his memory is kind of iffy and he was being used by the Kingpin and all of this stuff. So I'm really curious to see where the Punisher goes from there, and in the capable hands of Benjamin Percy. I'm excited for this, and that's why the Punisher comes in at number 2. And coming in at number 1, the long anticipated Amazing Spider-Man Venom Death Spiral issue number 1. This is the crossover event that we've been building up to for a while. We're getting a new villain named Torment in this event, and yeah, I've been excited about this for a while. This is written by Charles Soule and Al Ewing and Joe Kelly, with art by Jesus Saez, or I think that's how you pronounce that. If not, I apologize. So it says, first your friends, then your family, then you. The next epic Spider-Man and Venom crossover starts here and continues through April. A new superpowered serial killer is on the loose, and they're coming for Spidey, Venom, and everyone in between. But what terrible secret has Carnage learned, and what does it have to do with Spider-Man? So there's been a lot of speculation about this and about the Shocker kind of leveling up in this event, possibly. A lot of things, a lot of unknowns, a lot of curiosities here. You've got Eddie Brock as Carnage, you've got Mary Jane as Venom, you've got Spider-Man. It's going to be an interesting cast of characters we're going to deal with in this series, and we've already kind of seen some stuff that's going to spill out of this, so it's going to be very interesting, and I'm so excited for this. It's been a long time since I've been this excited about a Spider-Man event, and that's why Amazing Spider-Man Venom Death Spiral comes in at number 1. And there you have it. There's this week's top 8. First for next week, February 25th. And I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you also enjoy Jumping On Point and want to see more of that series as well. Like I said, it's been a slow build, but I'm starting to get there and starting to populate the channel with more content. So I hope you enjoyed that. And if you did like this episode, please hit that like button. It really does help. And if you haven't done so already, hit that subscribe and notification bell so you don't miss any of the content on the channel. Of course, you can follow me across social media at Only Good Comics, which I am updating now, or type in onlygoodcomics.com to take you right back to this YouTube channel where we talk about only good comics. Until next time, thanks for watching. Take care. Keep reading those comics, and I'll see you soon.